How's it going, everyone? My name is Corbin with Home Gyms Canada, and in today's video we're checking out our fully loaded half rack from Gorila Fitness. We're going to go through the half rack, go through a couple of the attachments we have, show you some bells and whistles it offers, and at the end of the video we're also going to do a price breakdown to show you how much something like this would cost. Stay tuned. This is the HR-90 from Gorila Fitness. About a year ago, we actually did a full review on this rack, but today I wanted to circle back and talk about a few things I've noticed or experienced with my time with this rack over the past year. The HR-90 is made here in Canada, which is excellent for those of you who are looking to support Canadian business. It's super heavy duty as it's made from 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch 11 gauge steel tubing. Our front uprights here behind me are powder coated in red, not only to look awesome, but to also protect against corrosion as well. The hole spacing on this rack is 2 inches until you get down here to the west side hole spacing area. What west side hole spacing does is essentially moves the hole spacing from 2 inches down to 1 inch, which makes for a more precise J-cup placement. Over the past year, this is a feature I've really noticed as it's made for a much more convenient lifting experience, especially when benching. This rack has a 5/8 inch hole size, which is the second most common hole size next to the 1 inch hole. I wanted to briefly touch on the rear section on this squat rack, and quite honestly, there's not really much here to talk about, other than the storage pins, which is housing our custom machined weights, and also above me, you'll notice the Gorila nameplate cross member. This cross member is super heavy duty and looks awesome. I remember back to when I was assembling this rack, I had a heck of a time trying to get that nameplate cross member in place. If you're assembling this with this cross member, I recommend having 2 people because it is not a fun job. The Gorila cross member is going to cost a total of $368, and the 2 sets of storage pins here that we have are going to cost a total of $184. The one nitpick I have about this rack has actually something to do with the J-cups. I wish that they would add some plastic protection inside the J-cup around the part that hugs the upright. Not only would it get rid of this sound, I also think it would provide a tighter fitment around the upright. The Gorila Fitness HR-90 at the time of recording this video costs $1,234 with free shipping. And just to clarify, that does not include the nameplate cross member or the storage pins that we have. All right, moving along to the spotter arms here. As you can see, we have a half rack, which means we're gonna be lifting outside the rack every single time, which makes spotter arms very important for our safety. These spotter arms are super heavy duty as they're made from really thick steel, and that's gonna do the job just fine. On top here, they're using HDPE plastic inserts to protect your barbells from that unwanted steel on steel contact. It's really common for spotter arms to have the plastic up here, but it's just something that I wanted to highlight. For those of you who are wondering what HDPE is, it's essentially UHMW with a couple minor differences. Coming with the spotter arms are 2 hitch pins, and what you're going to use those hitch pins for is to lock the spotter arms in place by inserting them through this hole at the bottom here. What this is going to do is lock them in place and get rid of any movement that they might have. Without these hitch pins, the fitment is a little bit wonky, and here's what I mean by that, but at the end of the day, they still function perfectly. I just felt that's something I needed to highlight. These spotter arms cost a total of $357 with free shipping. Moving along to debatably the most versatile attachment that money can buy, which is these jammer arms. I'm not going to go too far in depth with this attachment simply because we just released a full review on our YouTube channel a few weeks ago. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link down below in the description. In today's video, we just want to highlight a few of the features that I really like about this rack. First and foremost, the versatility that this attachment brings to my workouts in my home gym is second to none. I'm using this attachment pretty near every workout, and it's really easy to do that considering how many exercises you can use this attachment for. This attachment is being held to the rack using hitch pins, which means it's not going anywhere. But because of the pins, it also means that the adjustment process is going to take a little bit longer than I'd like it to. I will say once you get the hang of it, it can be done quite quickly. It takes me just under a minute to adjust between 2 positions. The handles here have a few different grip options, which is a nice touch. And speaking of handles, over here on the other side is where we add resistance to this attachment. usually in the form of weight plates or resistance bands. I also want to point out that there is HDPE plastic inserts inside this handle to protect against that unwanted steel on steel contact. This attachment comes in at $1,153 with free shipping. Now I understand that is quite an expensive attachment, and we go further in depth on the price point in our review video. One thing I wanted to mention though is that everything here is made in Canada, which is excellent, and everything at the time of this video qualifies for free shipping. All right, now how much does this all cost? And maybe the better question is how much can I clickbait this video for? The HR-90 from Gorila Fitness, along with the nameplate crossmember, the spotter arms, the storage pins, and the lever arm attachment cost a total of $3,753. Again, that is at the time of recording this video. To summarize our experience with the HR-90 from Gorila Fitness, it's honestly been great. It's done exactly what it's supposed to do, which is provide me with a safe and more convenient place to lift weights. Not only that, it's also given me the opportunity to use cool attachments like the jammer arms here, which again provide a tremendous amount of value and versatility to my home gym. The very few nitpicks I had about this rack can easily be overlooked, as none of them really affect the overall functionality of the rack. I feel like that just speaks to the overall quality of Gorila's equipment. One last thing I wanted to mention about this rack is that these uprights are made from 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch 11 gauge steel. I know I mentioned that earlier, and the reason I'm bringing it up again is for those of you with 3 inch by 3 inch attachments, they're not going to be compatible with this rack. If you have any questions regarding this rack, any questions regarding Gorila Fitness, or anything related to home gyms in general, I love chatting about it, and you can find me down below in the comment section. Thank you guys all for the support on our YouTube videos, our YouTube channel, and just in general. We're able to do this because of you guys, so thank you. With that said, my name was Corbin with Home Gyms Canada. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys around here sometime soon.